It's the biggest budget in Texas history. It's April 11th, 2025, and these are your headlines. In a marathon session that lasted until just after 3 a.m. this morning, apologies if I have any bags under my eyes today, the Texas House moved forward with its version of the state's biennial budget, marking the largest budget in state history at $337 billion. Well, despite 393 amendments having been pre-filed on Senate Bill 1, that was the budget, ahead of the debate, most of those never saw the light of day. Before debate on the bill really began, lawmakers adopted more than 300 of those amendments in a single sweeping motion at the outset, sending many of them to Article 11. What's Article 11? That's the so-called wish list portion of the budget. It's reserved for things that may or may not make it into the final version. May not is usually more likely. The budget was approved this morning in a vote of 118 to 26. Now, the Senate unanimously passed its version of the budget last month with a proposal largely similar to the one advanced by the House. The budget now heads back to the Senate, which is expected to vote not to concur with the House's changes. That will trigger the formation of a conference committee. That's a small group of lawmakers from both chambers tasked with negotiating a final version of the budget. In the coming days, House members will have an opportunity to approve motions to instruct, which are non-binding suggestions directing the chamber's conferees on specific priorities or positions they'd like to see reflected in the final agreement. The gates of Shelby Park in Eagle Pass, once a hotspot for illegal border crossings, are now apparently open to the public after over 1 year of being closed. The concrete barriers, guards, and armored tactical vehicles that have resided in the park since early 2024, when the state occupied it, have mostly been removed. A spokesman for Governor Greg Abbott told News for San Antonio that because of President Trump's swift and decisive leadership in securing the border, illegal crossings in Eagle Pass are at a record low. As a result, there's no longer a need for Texas to maintain northern-facing barriers, though the state will maintain barriers and a presence on the border itself. So in January of last year, you might remember Shelby Park became the focal point of a standoff between Texas National Guardsmen, who were securing the park, and federal troops that were ordered by the Biden administration to cut razor wire fencing in the area. The Supreme Court sided with Biden in a ruling in late January, yet Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton refused to surrender the park. In November of last year, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in Texas's favor, allowing razor wire to remain along the U.S.-Mexico border and ordering that the barricades are not to be dismantled.
America is at a crossroads. Now, more than ever, Texas must step up and lead the country. We don't have time to mess around. The only way to save America is with a strong Texas. You and I know this, but so do the enemies of life and liberty. Therefore, you and I have no choice but to stand up and fight. I'm Sarah Gonzalez, and to the enemies of liberty, I say, come and take it.
Speaking of the border, Texas senators have approved a priority of Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's to establish a Homeland Security Division within the Texas Department of Public Safety. That's part of Senate Bill 36 by Senator Tan Parker, which was passed 26-4 yesterday. The new division would consolidate existing Homeland Security functions, now mainly under the Office of the Governor, into a new DPS division to coordinate multi-agency and multi-jurisdictional efforts. Parker's measure would also create a centralized process for gathering and analyzing intelligence related to public safety, prioritizing efforts like border security as well as energy, water, and communications infrastructure. Lieutenant Governor Patrick said, by creating a Homeland Security Division within DPS, we can centralize vital Homeland Security operations, resulting in a better prepared and protected Texas. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.